This PSA was brought to you by the Peter G Show.
You may have second thoughts after the show.
Don't drink the faucet. We're really talented. We should get Oscars.
Just pick out a car, for Christ's sake.
No, hi, my name is Peter.
Yeah, I want.
Here's good.
Yeah.
Madam Perry.
I need to get back in the genie bottle.
Louis from Pennsylvania, you're on. He likes it. It's showtime.
Peter G Show, divorce dad, single dad, divorce dad, single dad, Peter G Show.
Ah, yes, showtime. And indeed it is. Wednesday, right here. End of the month already. 1 down, 11 to go. Time flies when you're having fun. I hope everybody's doing well. How the hell is everybody? I want to welcome everybody that's coming in, that's going to be in, that will be listening into the future. After the show is over, it lives on forever. You have the choice to bring it up on demand whenever you want. But I want to thank you for being part of Life of Peter G, the Peter G Show, right here every Wednesday like clockwork, 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, and 9 p.m. on that East Coast. God willing. And so far, so good. I really hope everybody's doing well. We got a great show tonight. A lot of stuff to get to. Obviously controversial. Can't please everybody. I've been thinking about it a lot because there's been so much going on, and I'm saying that, you know, I haven't had guests on that much, and I like guests. I like going back to the health topics and to the, you know, personal problem topics and relatable topics, but this is relatable too because it's life and there's so much stuff, and I just can't help but want to be involved in order to share the information. But boy, oh boy, you know, again, back to the old, you can't please everybody. It's like, you know, again, I don't twist anybody's arm to tune in. I love that you do. I love my friends, but even some close people in my life do not agree with some of the things that I talk about on this show. And again, I don't feel I have to consult them to figure out how to appease that 1 or 2 people, because when I do that, then I got another set of people that are all upset too. So it's just like, you got to take the good with the bad. Hang in there. Man up. You know, life is short. We'll be fine. Somehow or another, we're all going to get through this. And at the same time, like I said, I'm not getting mad at you because you're upset with me. I'm not. This is business. You know, this isn't, I didn't just get up and go, maybe I'll take a nice walk and do a show. I get up here because I have to be here. And I like being here. I love being here, actually. I do. But the criticism, I guess that comes with it. And I don't read comments, but I'm getting told most of the time because I can't. You just have to stay away from that stuff. I have other people that will deal with it. But I do dabble. And it just blows my mind. A lot of butthurt people when I start talking about things. Let's see. Let's say hi to somebody early since they got in. AJ, I called Christmas night and we talked about frequencies. Do you remember? Let me check my memory. Yes, I do. Welcome. Thank you. Tuning in, and thank you for commenting. First comment of the day. Speaking of comments, this is important too. A lot of important stuff. It's all important and entertaining. Hi, my name is Peter. If you want to comment, you can comment live, but you have to be on the official Peter G Show page of YouTube, the official Peter G Show page of Facebook, or the official Peter G Show page of LinkedIn if you want me to see your comments live. Okay, just like AJ's that I've just left up there and forgot to take down. Where am I? Yeah, that's right. So I'd love to see your comments. I do. I want to know what you're thinking because I don't put the phones on all the time, because when I put the phones on, I just did a little rant last week about nobody calls, or, you know, I'll get a phone call, 2 phone calls. It'll get better. But I put the phones on randomly. I love talking to you people too. I really wish we could just do a show of everybody just calling in. I love that. I want to hear and get a feel from you, the people, what's out there. That's kind of like what this country needs. The people have spoken. Even if it's bad stuff, even if you don't like what I have to do, what I have to say, and I want to know why. I want to know why. I want to hear it from you, why you're upset with what I present to you. Let's take, for example, tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk a little bit of current events, as always, because there's so much going on and things you need to know, things you might not know. And then we're going to talk about, I don't know, aliens. I've gotten all caught up because it's crossed my path and plus it's touching my hometown about an alien spaceship that's out over the Gulf of America, right in front of the Gulf Coast of Pensacola, right supposedly in front of Pensacola NAS, Pensacola Naval Air Station. I'm intrigued. Plus, I have videos, and I have somebody that's going to explain this stuff. Now, whether you want to listen to it or you think it's all baloney, that's fine. That's cool. Totally cool. But I'm going to talk about it. And I'm going to talk about other things. And I always find that sometimes you get something that just hits you right in the core that you really want to listen to, and you go, God, Peter, that was a great show, because it's important to you. But again, I have to do a show for the masses. So I try to please, not try to please. I try to do a little bit of everything that pertains to life, because there's always something out there for somebody. Okay? I'm not going to just go, I was going one direction for many years about surviving divorce and single parenting. I think that's very important for the sake of the children and your own, consciousness and your own sanity and all that, because it's hell. And I still talk about that stuff. I just don't do it every week now. There's just so much life going on. This is a great time to be alive, folks. A lot of things going on. Speaking of, one more thing I really want to bring aware to you. I have 3 Facebook pages. There's a Peter Gisellas page, a Peter G. Gisellas page, and then the official Facebook Peter G. Show page. We've talked about it for quite a while, and I'm finally made up my mind that as of next week, I need you guys to all watch from the official Facebook Peter G. Show page and or the official YouTube page. I got to start moving everybody together. I got too many pages. Everybody's all spread out. And I got problems with my business people with numbers. It's too hard to keep track of what's going on. Am I doing good? Am I not doing good? We're doing good. That boy's good. That boy's good. We're doing good. But it's funny because I have the greatest lurkers in the world. They watch, but they don't subscribe and or follow. And I'm going to ask you to please move over from the Peter G page. The Peter G. Gisellas page and the Peter Gisellas page. Move over now. Hit the follow button. It'll tell you when the show starts. It's real easy because next week, those pages are going to be gone. Now, they're there, but they're not going to be live. So, you'll be able to watch the show after, and you'll be able to see short clips and things like that through the week. But if you want to watch live, and I know a lot of you do, and I appreciate it, you're going to have to be on the official show pages. The official Facebook Peter G Show page, the official Facebook YouTube page, official LinkedIn page. Those are the only 3 right now. But I'm going to start honing in. If I didn't have such a big Facebook crowd, I'd move everybody to YouTube. But YouTube scares me because they take me down too much. Facebook, I love you guys. I do. But I want you to be on all those. Okay? But I'm getting off of the personal pages. These were pages that I started before I really was going to do the show. And I stuck with these pages. And, because I have different people on different pages. But now I need you, even my private friends that are on my private Facebook page, I need you to do me a solid and move over to the official Facebook Peter G Show page and hit the follow button. It's real simple. It's free. All right? I appreciate that. Thank you. This PSA was brought to you by the Peter G Show. What are we doing? Okay, so also I should remind you, again, subscribe, follow YouTube. Just hit the subscribe button. It's free also. But for those of you who are busy driving in the car and you have intentions of watching the show, but you just don't get to because you don't get to sit down long enough to be able to watch, Put an earbud in your ear, Google Peter G Show podcast, take the show on the road with you. You can hear the audio version of this show and all the other 400 plus shows and counting. It's great stuff. You can listen to the show while you're in the car. You can listen to the show while you're in work. Put an earbud in your ear and do your work. A lot of people, you're multitasking while you're exercising, taking walks. I walk a lot. And so when I do, I even listen to the show again. I'm constantly listening to myself for your benefit. The do's and don'ts. Boys, sometimes there's some don'ts. It's just life. We're live. I am very... The one thing about this show, and I hope it'll always be about this show, is there's always going to be, spontaneity? I want to say spontaneity. Spontaneity. I do things right here in the now. Nothing's there's, the show's put together, but nothing's scripted. Let's put it that way. I don't do scripted shows. I'm fast enough on my feet to handle it. Even the train wrecks happens. But you know what? The train wrecks are a great learning experience too. And boy, have I got some learning experiences. So please, Google Podcast, take the audio version on the road with you. Just take it with you and listen while you're driving. A lot of people commute and they're in the car, especially out here in California. You can sit in your car for anywhere from 45 minutes to 2-hour drives every day, back and forth going to work. It sucks. But you get used to it and that's what you do. So you might as well listen to something good. Always something out there for you guys. I got. But all right. So what's going to happen is we're up for. It's that time, folks. It's time for a word from my good friends over at Clean Star Product with their money-saving fuel additive DX1 driver. Let's face it. It makes sense to save money. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Tyrone Thompson of CleanStarProducts.com. This is DX1 Driver in the news, and here's what our friends have to say.
So I'm here to recap on the DX1 I've used. I put it in the oil and I put it in the gas. While I'm using it just for about 3 tanks. Cleaned everything out. I got every ounce of power back in my truck.
When Jared's truck was new, it had a lot of power. Then over time, it began to slow down. He got it all back with our DX1 driver program.
Something you got to see for yourself. It's a great product. It's affordable. And it blows all the other additives and esters out of the water.
DX1 driver is the finest oil in the world from a California environmental company. It goes into the fuel system and the oil. It's the only green grade product qualified for the carbon credits program, giving you better fuel mileage, lower emissions, and increased horsepower. So join the fuel savings revolution today. Go to CleanStarProducts.com/shop.
That's right, folks. CleanStarProducts.com with their money-saving fuel additive DX1 driver. 2 words for you. It works. It works. Can't say it enough. I use it myself. Would have never believed it because I've used other products in the past as I grew in life and had many vehicles. But this one, especially more than ever, actually does what it says it's going to do. And it's real simple to use. All you do is take one of these little bitty bottles right here. This is actually a big bottle. Here's a little one right here, okay? This one's for 4-door sedans, regular average-sized cars. This one's for trucks and SUVs. You take one of these bottles, depending on the vehicle you own, put one in a clean oil change. It lasts the whole oil change. It's 5,000 miles minimum, depending on what kind of car you drive, all right? Then every time you fuel up your tank, you put one of these little bitty bottles into the tank with your gasoline on a full tank. That's all there is to it. It couldn't be much simpler. And that's it. I started noticing a difference between about 3 or 4 tanks of fuel of driving that my high mileage Ford F-150 Super Crew was responding better. It just felt better. It took less effort. When I stepped on the gas pedal, it started moving easier, started saving. I noticed the gas mileage stepped up. My daughter noticed the difference when she borrows it. She's a horse girl and she has to go pick up hay once in a while. But don't believe me. Go to their website at www.cleanstarproducts.com. There's a phone number on the website. I need you to call them because you're going to have questions. Let them answer your questions in person. They're knowledgeable. They're proud of what they make, and they have a product that works. And also, after you ask all the questions, should you decide to order, this is the most important part too, tell them you saw it on the Peter G Show. Because if you order and tell them that you saw it on the Peter G Show, they're going to send you 5 bottles for the price of 4. I know. Incredible, right? 5 bottles for the price of 4, and that's perfect for a starter kit, you know, because you put one in the clean oil change and then you got 4 tanks of fuel of product, and you should start noticing a difference. And then, you know, keep the maintenance up. At least do it every other tank, if not every tank. It's cheap to keep. It's good, cheap insurance that works. Take care of your car. Cars are expensive. They're really expensive. Good food, good body. Same thing with your car. Why be destroying your cars? But again, go to their website, call them, ask the questions. If you're satisfied with the questions and want to order, mention it. You saw it on the Peter G Show, and they will send you 5 bottles for the price of 4. It works, folks. Promise. Scout's honor. All right. The moment you've been waiting for. I was debating whether to open the phones up somewhat tonight. So if you have a curiosity, when we get towards the end of the show, I will open the phone lines maybe for a call or two, because I'm going to talk about a couple of things that you're either going to love me or hate me or tell me I'm full of nonsense or whatever. But the first order of business is going to be regular current events, because there's so many current events going on because of this. You know, it's a new presidential year, and I got a lot of people that I know and a lot of people I don't know that are flat out butthurt. And I was going to say I'm sorry, but no, I don't know what to tell you. You know, we had to put up with that crap for 4 years, and it didn't work. But again, you're hell-bent, and everybody is kicking and screaming with everything the Orange Man is doing now, although he's just at 100 million miles per hour going at it and getting things going. And all I can say is sit back, relax, enjoy the ride. It's not going to be as bad as you're crying it's going to be. It's actually going to be real good. But if you think eggs are going to come down and, you know, in his first week of office, you know, you're going to have to just grow up. That doesn't work like that. And you know it, but you're screaming to scream. But we're going to talk about some things because, you know, again, the hatred for the man, that's the whole thing. They've conditioned you to hate the man. And that's where I really say it's like, you really got to stop this nonsense, because in all reality, you know, he hasn't done anything bad to this country, but they've conditioned you to do it. So here's what I want to do. I want to start with a video clip, and it's a kind of like an overall as to why you hate this guy. It's going to explain to you why you hate this guy, why they created the fear mongering. You know, it's got to stop, but there's a reason behind it. And this video is going to give the layout before we just go over a couple of things, because we are going to move nothing but forward. And you might as well stop kicking and screaming, because you're not helping the situation, which is your life too. It's your life too. And until you prove me wrong, and I have invited, you know, many times when the phone lines are open, you're more than welcome to call and educate me in case I'm wrong. And how I should see it your way. But nobody does. And I'm all for it. Go for it. Maybe I'm missing something. But until then, this is the information I'm putting out there. I'm not forcing you to believe what I say. I'm just putting it out there for everyone to take and do what you choose to. If you choose to toss it out the window, that's your business. If you choose to keep it in the back of your head for a later time to possibly consider something that you may not realize right this second because you're very, you know, against everything, fine. Check this video out. I think you're going to get something. This is the history of why they've conditioned you to hate the Orange Man. All right? Be right back. Check this out. This is important.
Everyone's in on the Great Reset. Well, almost everyone. There's one guy who's got the power to do something to stop it, and you know exactly where I'm going. And they made a mistake. They tried to get Trump on their side, so they invited Donald Trump to Davos, I think a couple of times. But in January, when Donald Trump, I think, really began to see the beast that he was up against, he went to Davos, to the World Economic Forum, and he stuck a mega finger in their eye.
We're committed to conserving the majesty of God's creation and the natural beauty of our world. But to embrace the possibilities of tomorrow, we must reject the perennial prophets of doom and their predictions of the apocalypse. These alarmists always demand the same thing: absolute power to dominate, transform, and control every aspect of our lives. We will never let radical socialists destroy our economy, wreck our country.
2 days after Donald Trump gave that speech, the 89-year-old leftist weirdo billionaire George Soros made an emergency intervention where, at Davos, once again, warning that the U.S. 2020 election will determine the, quote, fate of the whole world. Now, in the context of Davos, take a look at this one more time. This is a month after Donald Trump addressed Davos and stuck the MAGA finger in their face. Here's what Francis, the Vatican, and Jeffrey Sachs had to say in response.
And it is a dangerous country right now. It will be absolutely dangerous if Trump wins re-election. Trump wins re-election. Trump wins re-election.
Francis invited this guy to the Amazon Synod as an honored guest and advisor. He's also Bernie Sanders' advisor. What's he doing in the Vatican? Why is this guy who's a promoter for socialist, out and out socialist, Bernie Sanders, what's he doing advising the Pope? Why does he have entree to the Vatican, friends? Sachs supports abortion and contraception, but that's not a problem for the Vatican. For the Vatican, for Pope Francis, and for his friends at the UN, Donald Trump is the problem, obviously, friends.
Clearly, I consider the Trump administration a danger to the world, but I regard it as a purely temporary phenomenon that will disappear in 2020.
Do you get it? Do you see why there's so much hate for Trump? Because with all of his faults, again, he's the capitalist. He's not the globalist. He never will be one of them, which is why he pulled the United States out of the Paris Climate Agreement. Donald Trump pulled the United States out of the World Health Organization. That's Bill Gates and company. And now he's threatening to pull the United States out of the World Trade Organization. People say, yeah, well, Donald Trump got married twice. He's a bad guy. Really? He's right in the face of the demons on this, friends. Nobody ever said he was a saint. He's knocking the sacred cows of the United Nations down all over the world right now.
The General Assembly routinely votes 185 against the United States on almost everything right now.
And you remember, speaking of the United Nations, in November of 2019, again, right before COVID landed, Trump went to the UN, on the floor of the General Assembly, and he declared war on globalism.
Wise leaders always put the good of their own people and their own country first. The future does not belong to globalists. The future belongs to patriots.
And shortly after the speech at the UN, Donald Trump delivered, what do you think happened? The coronavirus was unleashed on the world, and Trump's booming U.S. economy went on life support. Do you think that was an accident? So when they tell all of us to stay home, wear your mask so grandma doesn't get sick, please understand what's really going on here. They don't care about your grandmother. They don't care about old people, these people. They don't care about babies. They want them aborted so that they can save the common home. Abort babies, millions of them all over the world. They don't care about babies. They don't care about old people. In fact, if you want to save your grandma, tell the globalists to stay the hell away from her. You remember how some of them, like Cuomo and characters like this, were running COVID recovering patients through nursing homes? That's how much they care about grandma. And the name of the game now is to bring the United States economy to its knees, get it out of the way, so that everyone will want the Great Reset. Make the new normal so intolerably abnormal that even you and I, maybe, at some point in the near future, will be begging for the vaccines because we'll be driven crazy by that point. Begging for whatever else is going to keep us safe according to our jailers and our handlers and our zookeepers. You see? That's what they want. That's why they keep using this term, new normal. You know what we do to fight back? Go to work. Go back to school. If you're healthy, take off the mask. And for heaven's sake, go back to church and pray that Trump wins in November. That's what the reset was on. That's what the Russia hoax was all about. That's what the impeachment hoax was all about. Don't you see? For 4 years, they've been trying to stop this man because if he strengthens America, if he makes it great again, if he brings the economy back again, the reset won't happen. The New World Order is going to be set way back. Who knows when they're going to have another COVID opportunity like this one again, and they know it. So ask yourselves why they hate this man. These folks, these men, they hate God. They hate the unborn. They hate the traditional family. They hate you. And they hate Donald Trump, whose political opponents, by the way, right now are knocking statues of saints to the ground. They're beating up cops. And they're burning flags. You say you don't like Trump. I'm sorry, friends, but who cares? That doesn't really matter anymore. But you think of Trump's personality or his tweets. Look at the big picture. The choice is simple, friends. Stand with America right now, or fall with the New World Order in the not-so-distant future. There's no other choice. I'm Michael Matt for Remnant TV, and we'll see you next week.
Now, the beauty is, this was recorded prior to the election, and we won. He's in office. And you can see that the rest of the world is stepping up because they know he's a force to be reckoned with. And he just recently, this past week, went and did a Skype to the World Economic Forum, those devils, Bill Gates, Soros, Klaus Schwab, and all those guys. They're the devils. They're the ones who want to eat this country up and put everybody in rentals and the just worker bees. And he told them he's not going to play their reindeer games. And if we stick together, we are going to never let those type of people come close to destroying what they were just about ready. We were very close to going down, whether you think so or not. But they're the ones. They're so powerful who've conditioned you to lead you to believe how awful he is. And this one man, I mean, what an awful man fighting for America first to keep you safe from those people, to creating this new world order bullshit. Another nice little thing, real quick. He made a lot of promises, and he's going to keep them. Nothing's going to happen overnight on everything. There's so much damage. I mean, things just aren't going to happen. Again, you're not going to get the price of eggs down overnight, and it's going to take a while. He clearly says he's going to produce more energy. Energy is going to be the key to bringing everything down. That's not going to happen overnight, but it is going to happen. But this was something that I think was a long time coming, and I'm really glad they need to let this out so you can find out just how evil our government can be. And this was one of the things he signed into one of the. I think this is important here.
Lastly, sir, we have an executive order ordering the declassification of files relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
That's a big one, huh? A lot of people are waiting for this for years, for decades. And everything will be revealed. Okay? Give that to RFK Jr.
Yes, sir.
You may think it's a big deal. You may say, who cares, depending on how old you are. But again, transparency, pulling the curtain back, exposing the corruption. That was assassinations of those three people. John F. Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy, and Martin Luther King Jr. And he does not care. He's not a politician. He understands he's got to play their game sometimes, but he's a great negotiator, and he's not going to stand for it. I mean, he's very open. The one thing I can say, and whether, again, you agree or not, doesn't matter. Just listen and either love it or hate it. I mean, that's it. You may not like what he's going to say, but at least he says something and you know what you're getting from him. Good or bad. As opposed to the last 4 years where you hardly heard anything besides lies. Scripted book lies. had to read from paper, both his secretary press, she had a binder that was this thick. What happens when they ask me this question? I got to tell them this lie. What happened? Because when you tell so many lies, you forget. So you have to stay on track. It's very difficult. That's why over here, I don't care what I say because I'm not lying. I don't have to remember what I've said, good or bad. But I'm not lying. I may make a mistake, but I'm not lying. And his press secretary just came on for the first time, was it yesterday? And she didn't have a binder. These people can talk off the top of their heads. The president of the United States, the orange man, can talk off the top of his head, and he sat there with tons of, press when he's signing all these executive orders. They're asking him questions. He's signing. He's answering. It's real simple. Again, you know what you're getting. He's telling you what he's going to do for the most part. Now, when it comes to national security, things like that, he's not going to tell you things. He's real good at keeping secrets too. However, we have been down a dark road, whether you think so or not, whether you think you had the best 4 years of your life this past 4 years, I call bullshit. You're a lucky person if you can call that, because the other 99% have not. You're an anomaly and you're delusional. But drop the Trump derangement syndrome. It's stupid. Stop showing your ass and stop kicking and screaming about everything he's going to do, because a year from now, your life is going to be better. You just don't want to admit it. You just can't. And it's okay. It's okay. I'm not going to not like you, whether you choose to still talk to me or still watch the show, whatever. But this stuff is going to be on periodically as the show goes on, because it's important. There's so much change going on in this country, in this world. And I realize there's a lot of people that are clueless that need to know. It's important, especially if you have children. And it's important for yourself as a human being and your friends and your family. It's important. I never would have thought I'd be talking about this kind of thing, but it's important. So I stepped into the arena knowing I'm going to piss some people off because they're going to disagree. But see, I can disagree, agree to disagree. You don't want to, you have a different outlook. I'm open for it. Talk to me. I want to know what you're thinking. Tell me why, you disagree with me. But I'm not going to say, well, screw you. I don't ever want to see you again. That's stupid. That's high school shit. Stop. I want all the butthurt people, and I know I'm talking to the wall. It's not going to stop. But it'd be really cool if you just sucked it up, bite your tongue. Let's give it a shot, because so far, everything that they feed you, the media is still going to be pushing, propaganda against him. But one by one, they're all getting thinned out. They really are. They're all getting thinned out. Truth and reality is here, folks. I'll give you an example. You realize that we've been missing about 300,000 children who've come over the border, and our past government, as of 2 weeks ago, the ones that ran this country for the past 4 years, have no idea, or claim they had no idea, where 300,000 children are. We're not talking about 3,000 children. We're not talking about 30 children, but we are talking about children. Babies, children, not adults, came over this border illegally, supposedly with sponsors or this and that, and then just disappeared into the night. Our government had no idea where 300,000 children are, and they were asked repeatedly for 3.5 years when this stuff started happening. The numbers got bigger and bigger. Well, here's a little video showing you that you can find them if you really want to try. But if you don't try, you're not going to find them, or you knew where they're at and you just didn't want to say where they're at because something's really devious going on, and it's really bad, and our own government doesn't want to admit it. But check this out.
Tom Homan, the borders are for Trump has told me about, and all of this will focus on those missing children, hundreds of thousands of them that we know. And that number has started to already come down, Emily, from 300,000. So they've found about 75 to 80,000 of those kids already. If they can get the list of these guys, 4 full days in office for Trump, if they can get the list of where some of those kids have been, and they've been identifying it, since the election, going after them and trying to find those little ones, what in the world was Biden's administration doing? What was Secretary of Homeland Mayorkas doing when he said to the committees on Capitol Hill, we don't know where those kids are, I'll look into it? No, dude, you obviously had a better way to find them, and you didn't do your job. I can't believe they impeached him and didn't remove him.
She makes a point. She makes a very valid point. Mayorkas, that guy needs to be tarred and feathered for lying to you, the American public, day in, day out about everything, about the border being secure, about the not knowing, the children, and he just lied. And how you go to bed at night and sleep is beyond me. It's evil. It's evil, and they'll all get their day. But that's just one example. 1 week in office this man has been, the Orange Man, 1 week. And this show is getting on the road. I'm sure it doesn't bother you because it's not your child, your children. But if it was, you'd be screaming and yelling and talking a different story, for those of you who don't understand what I'm saying. It doesn't affect you. I say that a lot. In fact, a lot, and I will continue. If it doesn't happen to you or something around you, you're never going to feel the full effect and or care. God forbid it does, then all of a sudden you're up in arms. Exhibit A, Trump is now, made a vow that they're going to start getting all the vicious criminals that have been walked straight into our country across the border, for gang members, killers, rapists, child traffickers, drug traffickers, the ones that are in here from Venezuelan gangs and all this stuff. They're rounding them up and they're going back. And all of a sudden, we caught a bunch of crap from, everybody's like, oh, they're going to take everybody away. It's like, stop being a crybaby and just making things worse than what they are. They're getting the worst first. And they got a lot to go, but they're on it. And we had this little incident with Colombia, and people are screaming, oh, our coffee's going to go up. There's other parts of the world that make coffee. Should this problem arose when Trump was threatening with tariffs. But that didn't happen, because here's the older millennial getting ready to tell you on how Trump actually really does know what he's doing, because look how the success rate of this one transaction, and there's so many more already in the first week, has gone. Check it out.
Let me just show you the progressions of not liking what Trump does, saying it's going to be horrible, and then admitting Trump was right. Here's step one.
Colombia's president says that the country will reject any and all deportation flights.
And Donald Trump says, that's fine. If you don't take your people, I'm going to tariff the fuck out of you. And here's how Harry responded.
Donald Trump's newly announced tariffs on Colombia will make some of the things you buy almost every single day far more expensive.
And then what we all knew what was going to happen happens.
It appears that Colombia has backed down in the feud against the United States, and they will now accept deportation flights.
It's almost like Donald Trump is really fucking good at negotiating. It's almost like he recognized we have the upper hand here. And instead of just bowing to whatever the fucking other country wants us to do, which is what Biden would have done, he says, no, fuck you. If you don't want to do it, here's the consequences. And they back the fuck down. Welcome to the art of the deal, U.S. president style.
Yeah, baby. Sorry for the foul language, but it really makes a point. I really actually like that. Very to the point, adds color. Really pinpoints the direction you're trying to make, the emphasis on the subject that matter. But that was it. They're all screaming. I found a lot of libtards on like TikToks and all that because when Colombia said no, right away the media jumped on it. It was just blasting it all over like, we're in trouble, blah, blah, blah. And within 6 minutes, I mean, he actually played he played golf because he's doing business while he's playing golf. That's the thing. He's not just sitting on the beach falling asleep. He's got a phone and he uses it. He can be anywhere and he's doing business. So I don't want to hear about he's already playing golf and he's only been in office the first week. It's like he works round the clock, folks. The man doesn't sleep. So shut up to the ones that are going to give me a hard time about that. Otherwise, the rest of you, I love you. And I love the guy who's going to give me a hard time. But it's like you need to stop. Stop crying. You're screaming just to scream. So while he's playing golf, between the 4th hole and the 6th hole, he finished it all up. The Colombian president said, no, we're not taking him. He got on the phone. He says, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. Within the time from the 4th hole, he got to the 6th hole. The phone rings again. And he says, okay, we'll take him, and I'll send you my presidential plane, and we can pick up some more. Done. That's leadership, folks. I don't care what you say. That's leadership. He's not managing a Boy Scout group. He's managing a country, the number one country in the entire world. I was going to say United States, but that wouldn't make sense, would it? He's a leader, a world leader. He didn't take off any heads. He just used some negotiation tactics. So listen, these are your criminals. You know they came here and they shouldn't have been here because of all the stupidity that went on the last 4 years, but you need to take them back. Not to mention all the money we give them every year. We give every country a bunch of money, and they don't do anything good with it. The higher-ups line their pockets with it. He's going to stop all that. See, he's going to stop all that, and then our money is going to stay in just like your business. You know, instead of spending all the money out of your business, you get to keep the money in your business. Like I said, stick around. Let's talk about this a year from now. And you think that Trump's the bad man about, threatening to deport all these people? Nobody was complaining when Obama did it. But then again, you don't even remember that because there's been so much crap that you just, it's on to the next tragedy, on and on and on. They bury one tragedy with another distraction, and then you forget all about it. But Obama did this and more. But yet you're giving the orange man a bunch of trouble. Don't believe me? Read his lips. Read his lips.
If you're a criminal, you'll be deported. If you plan to enter the U.S. illegally, your chances of getting caught and sent back just went up. The actions I'm taking are not only lawful, they're the kinds of actions taken by every single Republican president and every single Democratic president for the past half century.
I rest my case. It's okay when he says it. Nobody's raising hell about that. But see, I don't blame you, the people. I blame all these politicians because they're the ones instigating it. And then you guys repeat it because you are a Democrat, still believe that they have something good going on. If they did, I'd be right there with you. I would. I have no problem with that. I want the best person for the job. And right now, they don't have anybody. They haven't. They showed us exactly what they had, and they lost. The people have spoken. We were tired of it. And for the chosen few that are going to ride or die with the whole, Democratic Association and all that, and just to be there, even though they have burned everything to the ground, that's your business. Like I said, I'm not going to hold you for it, but I'm sorry, I don't agree with you. But I'm okay with that. You don't have to agree with everything I say. I'm just sharing information. And you just saw your boy Obama, which I fell for the first term and a half, till I finally figured it out because some people were tapping me on the shoulder and saying, man, he's slick. He's a good talker, but he's pushing for that new world order and all that kind of stuff too. And lo and behold, the light came on. I mean, when I said, no way. And then I kept, but see, my friends calmly they dropped the seed in my head. So I started looking a little deeper. I kept my eyes open. And then as I started looking, I'm going, damn. I think they're right. I think he's trying to screw this country. And he was. And that's why they put in, they rigged the last election and got old Biden in there because he was just a puppet. He didn't know half the shit he was doing. But that's what they wanted. They wanted people in the back behind the curtain running the show, and he was just a puppet head. He was going senile, and you guys refused to believe that he couldn't think straight. I'm not blaming him for that. I never liked him as a politician anyway. You're going to tell me he was elegant and all that. It's like, you're crazy. Videos don't lie. There's just so much video on him through the decades contradicting himself. He lied to his very last speech out the door. Lied. That's what politicians do. They lie. Trump's not a politician. He'll tell you stuff you won't want to hear, but chances are it's pretty much the truth. You just don't want to hear it. It is what it is, so stop. But the next one right now, yesterday or the day before, they put a freeze on a bunch of federal money. Right away, the media jumps on it. They overblow the whole thing. They get everybody upriled and in a panic. And then, the White House had to clear it up. And so they put a halt on it. But, again, instigating problems to keep problems because they don't want us to all be united. You need to take a breath. Check out, think before you speak. I've been learning that over the past 10, 12 years. I'm getting way better at it. Way better. But it takes practice. Because you are who you are, and to try to change some little flaws in you takes a lot of practice, because you quickly just slip right back into who you are. And that's just human nature. But there's always room for improvement. And the truth and buying into this crap, that's what they're putting all their eggs in that basket, that you're going to believe them, and you have. And again, don't believe me? Ask my friend Tim Kramer.
You've probably seen them. The videos are everywhere telling you that Trump is going to take your benefits.
Where is y'all's take on Trump stopping the food stamps and the Section 8?
And it's not just TikTok users telling these lies, spreading this propaganda. The mainstream media is in on it too.
White House ordering a halt to all federal aid overnight, a move that could threaten hundreds of billions of dollars for state and local governments and impact everything from education to transportation.
There are Americans out there that rely on these benefits. And when they're being lied to about the benefits being gone, well, of course, they're going to lose their shit.
I need somebody to fucking tell me they're lying. I need somebody to fucking tell me they're lying right fucking now.
Sweetheart, relax. Everything's going to be just fine. Caroline Leavitt took to the podium this morning for the first time as press secretary to dispel all the lies and myths about this issue.
This is not a blanket pause on federal assistance and grant programs from the Trump administration. Individual assistance, that includes, I'm not naming everything that's included, but just to give you a few examples, Social Security benefits, Medicare benefits, food stamps, welfare benefits, assistance that is going directly to individuals will not be impacted by this pause. And I want to make that very clear to any Americans who are watching at home who may be a little bit confused about some of the media reporting. This administration, if you are receiving individual assistance from the federal government, you will still continue to receive that.
You're watching the Kramer Says Project.
Again, instigators. If they'd stop causing havoc, we wouldn't have had any problem. People would not be freaking out. They'd never know the difference. Trump's way smarter than that. He's not going to cut off all the money, but he is going to cut off money where money doesn't need to go. I just heard again, if you want to give $50 million to Gaza for condoms, and you're okay with that, because that's what they did. There's an article. They make balloons out of them. They don't know what to do with them. They don't know what to do with them. $50 million for condoms was given to Gaza. That's the kind of spending that should kind of stop, don't you think? And the list goes on and on. I mean, there's so much stupid studies, federal studies, studying this and studying that. And, it's ridiculous. There's a lot of people that are going to lose ridiculous jobs that they should have never had in the first place. And rightfully so, because it's your money going to it. We would have way better highways and things like that if we didn't spend all that money on everybody else but ourselves. And here, this is John Kennedy, Senator John Kennedy, who I really like a lot because he has this amazing way of peacefully talking about something to get you to understand. And I love this guy. I really do. I've watched him through the years. And I mean, I wish one day I hope to get him on my show because he's just got this kind of clever way of talking about things that are really messed up. And he's going to talk to you just one more time about this whole thing, about everything, about what's going on with our media. And they need to just chill out. Stop it. They're causing trouble to get you all riled up. But here he is.
As you know, since he's been president, I don't know, a week, 10 days, President Trump has issued about 1 squillion executive orders. I think it's the most executive orders issued by a president in this short period of time in the history of ever. I'm still trying to read them. And most of his executive orders, this is a general statement, but I think it's fairly accurate, intend, as is his right, to reverse many of the policies implemented by President Biden. And I think it was yesterday, the Office of Management and Budget under President Trump, under an acting director, issued a memorandum And the memorandum went out to all agencies of the federal government, and it said, look, you've seen the president's executive orders changing federal policy, which he has the right to issue. So hold up spending any money, OMB said to the various agencies, that would implement President Biden's policies as have been changed by President Trump. And the OMB was very careful in its initial memorandum and in its explanation later to say, look, we're not talking about direct payments to people. We're not talking about Medicaid. We're not talking about Medicare. We're not talking about Social Security. We're not talking about SNAP benefits. Very careful. Well, people around here today have been screaming like they're part of a prison riot. Oh my God, the president's not following the law. Like this had not happened before. Again, I'm not saying that two wrongs don't make it right, but they do make it even. I'm just trying to give you a little context. Some of my Democratic friends have been running around, and some of my friends in the media have been running around like a 5-year-old in a Batman t-shirt, screaming that the world is coming to an end and the Impoundment Act is being violated and the Take Care Clause of the Constitution has been thrown into the garbage bin, as if this sort of hesitation to spend money has never happened before in Washington, D.C.
That's right, folks. Right there. Senator John Kennedy. He's telling them, he says, you're all a bunch of babies, crybabies, and you're just making trouble to make trouble. Making trouble to make trouble. And it needs to stop. You're not helping the situation. This is our country, but they don't care because they don't care about you. They care about them. There's so many of those politicians draining the swamp. They got to go. Both sides, Republicans and Democrats, a whole bunch of them. They are not in your best interests. They're supposed to be there working for you. They're not. They're working for them. They've gotten too comfortable. We've just kicked back and trusted them to run the show, and they just, took the ball and ran with it and going, we know what's best and don't worry about it. Just keep voting for us, which is horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. And things are changing. Daddy's home. I want to, let's switch gears now. As promised, first, I'm parched. No. Smooth. As promised tonight, I wanted to talk about aliens. You believe in aliens? You believe in alien existence? Do you believe that there are other life forms other than us in this entire universe? Does anybody? Can I have a show of hands? You feel free to comment too, because now we're going to talk about things. And if I have more time after I show you these alien things, I may take a few phone calls, not sure. But this intrigues me because I can't believe that we are the most intelligent life form, or the only life form at that matter, in the entire universe and beyond. We've been talking about aliens and UFOs and all that since the 40s. There's things that are unexplainable in pyramids and in archaeological finds and things like that that just don't make any sense. How? 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 Things are changing. We're, either they're feeding us these lies to keep you in fear. Fear is the key. But I don't fear this. I accept this if it's true. Now, again, for those of you, I said it last week, I'll say it again, and I'll probably say it whenever I need to say it. I am a type of person that, if you've watched this show long enough, you've seen me, I've brought psychics onto this show, some people that I believe that actually have the gift but they all vary on what type of gift they have. Just like, being an athlete or something like that, everything varies on who you are, your style, what you do, how you do it. But I believe in that stuff. I don't believe that when we die, again, these are just my beliefs. I'm not telling you what to believe. I'm just sharing information. I don't believe that when you die, that you're just done. There's nothing left. It's darkness. You cease to exist. I believe that our bodies are vehicles and you have a soul. I do. And I really, and if I'm wrong, I mean, so okay, I'm wrong. But if I'm not too bad. Even though I love life, I'm not ready anytime soon to want to go experience that, even though it may be even better. A heaven or whatever you'd like to acknowledge. I'm all in. But I believe in these things. This is just my beliefs. Again, what yours may be different. But I also believe that we cannot be the only ones on this planet, in this universe, that have some type of a form of intelligence, even though we may or may not look alike. So I've come across, we've been seeing all this UFO sightings and all this stuff. And we've seen a ton of this stuff. And it's like, what do you want to believe? Last year I had Sandra Dunn Willock. She claims to be a star seed. For those of you who don't know what a star seed is, she claims to be a human, regular person like us, but has a gift and ability that was given to be able to communicate, to understand and take in information from extraterrestrial life, other forms of life. You may call it our gods or God or whatever, who knows? But if there's somebody out there or something out there way more intelligent than us, I don't doubt it. So I stumbled upon this other person. She's a woman from Canada who claims that she is also a star seed and that she can channel the Galactic Federation. Now, right away, it sounds like, okay, Galactic Federation sounds like something from TV. Is it? And then I'm thinking about it. Is it something from TV, or was that created something from reality that they knew years ago? It's been told so much that, things that happen in movies are probably true to life, and they're telling you the story, but you don't realize they're telling you the story. Star Trek and all these things, fantastic, or did they know something we didn't know and they created television, to slowly get you used to? You remember when Dick Tracy had a watch that he could talk to on his, he could talk to his watch? That was crazy stuff back then. Now you got TV on your watch, you got your iPhones on your watch or whatever. Now, when if Star Trek, I was on Star Search, 1986. Star Trek, they had the little emblem on their lapel, they hit it and talking to the computer. What's so different between Siri and all that stuff? That was in the 60s. So it's got to get you thinking. It's like, how does that happen? So this woman, I'm going to play you a few videos preparing you, because not only did she talk about an alien ships that are starting to reveal themselves, but she spoke and hit me right in my hometown. She spoke about an alien ship that is sitting off the Gulf of America right now. Notice I didn't say Gulf of Peter G. In the Gulf Coast, in Pensacola, Florida, there is a starship or spacecraft, whatever you want to call it, cloaked, pretty much invisible, sitting right off the coast of Pensacola, Florida, directly in front of, and I don't know how far out, of Pensacola NAS, Pensacola Naval Air Station. Sitting there right now, slowly on and off, revealing some form or something of itself. If your brain can comprehend that energetically wise, to accept what you're seeing. This is the problem. They are such a high frequency and we are such a low frequency that there's got to be some meeting in the middle somewhere. They're coming down. We need to come up. Again, I'll let her explain this stuff. But the fact that I have some videos that are kind of questionable showing this supposed object, I just wanted to talk about it because I wish I was over there now to further see it with my own eyes, or attempt to see it, or try to see it, however you want to look at it. But I'm going to end up getting over there because this thing is supposedly not going away. It's going to sit there for quite a while. But again, it's questionable. I want you to hear her out. I got a few videos on her. She had long videos, so I had to go and just try to get a few pieces that were relevant, and you'll get the picture. But check this out. And this woman's from Canada, by the way. She's not from the area, just making it up. And all the videos I have are from people from all over the place happening to see these videos, and I'll explain that to you in a bit. But check her out. Here you go.
Hey guys, it's Rebecca, and I am back with another update from the Galactic Federation and the reveal of their first ship that is currently on the planet. For those of you who don't know me, I am an extraterrestrial contactee, a galactic channeler, a psychic medium, and I work in the Akashic Records, and my job is to help you along your spiritual awakening. So I just met with 2 other channeler friends of mine, and we tuned into the ship and channeled some messages from the Galactic Federation, and I definitely have a detailed update for you, which I'm very, very excited about because I've been given full permission to disclose their location. So they are in the Gulf of Mexico, in Florida, on the Pensacola Naval Base. That is where they are. Anyone and everyone who lives in that area or knows anyone in that area, go to the shores. They will be revealing themselves tomorrow, the 19th. This is what they've said. There is a bit of an interesting energy around those who will be able to see them and those who won't. So those who have a high enough vibration and want to see them and are on the ascension path will. Those who are not, those who are in fear, those who haven't done any of their shadow work, you will not be at a frequency high enough to be able to see them. For those of you who are non-believers, you're going to feel like this is a cop-out, and I'm sorry, but this just is what it is. I am going to be able to see them. I know that, I believe it, I feel it, I manifest it. That's how things work. They've been very, very clear that they have kind of given up hope that the military, the government, the deep state will announce disclosure on their behalf. And so it feels like they're just going to be moving out. They showed me again the ship moving out of kind of that port. Again, it's Pensacola Naval Base. And it is just sort of in that little groove around Florida. So if you look at a map, you'll see it's right in the Gulf of Mexico. This will be the first ship that the public will be able to see, take pictures of, photographs, video.
I stopped it right there because you can see she's kind of trying to describe Pensacola, Florida, but she obviously is not from that area. She doesn't know, and she's just saying here it's at the very end of the Florida Panhandle, heading west. There's an air base there for those of you who don't live there, although I have many people that do, that I'm very close to, including myself. And that Navy base teaches every single Navy pilot how to fly. Home of the Blue Angels. Home of the Blue Angels. Why they chose to go there, or why she chose to say that, again, she could have picked anywhere. But she blatantly, it's obvious that she does not know the area. She doesn't know why it's there, but that's what she was told, and that's what she's just saying, that there's something out there. Okay? Let's hear her a little bit more here.
I also want to be really, really clear, and this is something that's like bugging me a little bit about some of the channelers that are talking about this event. These ships are not landing. These ships are not going to open up their loading dock, and we are not going to see extraterrestrials walk out of these ships. They are not landing. They are simply revealing the actual craft. Why? To get us used to the idea that they exist. Because initially there's going to be this high level of fear in the collective, but eventually if they stay where they are, stay stationary, which is their plan, we are going to start to get used to their presence, and that fear level is going to come down. Remember that all of this is about raising our collective vibration enough so that they can land. And that is at the ascension point. That this is what the ascension is. It is being able to raise our vibration to a 5th dimensional frequency. And at that point, they can land. They can walk out. They can meet us face to face. That point is not coming until sometime in 2026, maybe 2027. Okay? So they are not landing. They are simply revealing their craft at low range so that we can see it in detail. So it's not just a quick sighting, a quick flash, or an orb. This is a ship. It's going to be at least football stadium sized. I didn't get like a clear understanding of how big it was, but they gave me an example so that I had a point of reference for a football stadium. So I think it's going to be at least that size. There's an energy within the military and the government of scrambling and kind of not knowing what to do and kind of grasping at straws, because they recognize at this point that the Galactic Federation is not leaving. The ship is not going anywhere. They are not going anywhere. And they also can't be shot down. Their technology is far too advanced for ours. So the last and most important message that comes through with the Galactic Federation, and this was a channeled message, not just me feeling into the energy, was that they come in peace to support, to love, to help us on our ascension journey, and to not be afraid. There is nothing to be afraid of. They come in love. This, in their minds and from their perspective, is a family reunion. And it is very important for the starseeds and the light workers to anchor in the highest possible vibrational energy at this time, because there are many on the planet, the majority, who are not going to be able to do that. And that's why we're here. That is why the starseeds incarnated at this time, so that we could hold that vibration for those who can't.
Kabish? You understand? Whether you believe it or not? I had somebody today. They were saying, well, this is baloney. He called me a liar. It's like, you can call me anything you want. You can call me an asshole. You can say I'm full of crap. You're an idiot. But don't call me a liar, because I don't lie. I'm just sharing this information. He says, if that were true, they would shoot it down. You think something that can come from a different dimension, different part of the universe, places or in ways that we can't even fathom, and we have the capability to shoot it down? Again, fear. We don't know what we're looking at, which I do believe they know what they're looking at. I believe our government and the world, people around the world, know way more than what we've been privy to for many, many years. It's all going to come out. This is a great time to be alive. There's so much shift in the world, hopefully for the positive. And it's a great time to be alive. I hope to live long enough to see the good that comes out of a lot of this stuff. Because there's a lot of crazy stuff too. All this AI is exploding, and who knows if it gets into the wrong hands. But that's the thing. We need to stay together so it doesn't happen. But they keep us divided so that way they can have more rule over us. Remember, united we stand, divided we fall. That phrase didn't come out of nowhere. It's pretty true. Here, let's listen to her a little bit more. She's covering a little more ground. And again, this is to set you up for what I'm about to show you in a couple of minutes about these ships. Because I'm going to show you them. Whether you think it's them or not, that's up to you.
Okay, so let's get into it. I did connect and tune in to the Galactic Federation, the ship that is in Pensacola, Florida. I have to always remind myself of what that name is. Pensacola, Florida, just off the naval base. They're along the shoreline. They're in position. They are working to calibrate their frequency. And there's a few things going on here. So there's a lot of people who are like, oh, so only the ascended ones or the awakened ones can see the ship. That's how it works. your vibration has to be a close enough vibrational match. So they're coming down in vibration and we are moving upwards. And so what they've said is that those of you who will be able to see us clearly, the number will increase in the coming days and weeks. I asked if you would be able to see them specifically on the camera, see the ship specifically on the camera. I wanted to get clarification on that. And they said, yes, you will probably be able to see the outline of the craft, but the way that this is working is they are moving into our frequency. So think of dimensions as being kind of on top of each other. So here's the third dimensional reality, and the fifth dimensional reality is kind of on top of that. And so the ship is phasing in to our reality. And as our vibration increases, our ability to see at that vibration will increase, and we will be able to see it more clearly, more like a solid object. The way that I see it when I see it in my mind's eye and my third eye is it's almost like transparent. It's very different than like what we have seen thus far with the orbs, the plasmoids, those kinds of things. This looks very, very different. It will be very clear if you are able to see it in the coming days and weeks that it is a large spacecraft. It will be very, very clear. So everybody just try to be patient. It is there, but this is a process. Humans tend to think in very black and white. We either see it or we don't. And that's not how reality really works. We have to be patient and sit in that resonance of acceptance, because that will keep our vibration high and raise our vibration as we move through this process. There are so many comments on here, and I'm sure many of those who are even awakened thinking that all of a sudden there's going to be this big Independence Day mothership in the sky. And although it is there, they are phasing into our reality, our dimensional vibration. And so it's not as black and white as poof, there it is, there we see it. This is what I talked about in my last video. Never, ever, ever did I say that you're going to clearly see a solid ship. And so I just want us to like temper our expectations around this, but they are there and they are not going away. And it's only going to get more and more obvious. They do tell me that by the spring equinox, which is obviously at the end of March, it will be undeniable across the globe that this craft is there, that these aliens exist, and it will be on mainstream media. That is what they have said thus far, based on the current trajectory right now of where the vibration is moving towards. So we're moving up exponentially.
I don't know about you, but I'm excited. I am. I want to see this stuff. I'm ready for it. Take me to your leader. Nanu Nanu. I am. I'm hoping by the end of March I'll get to see it for myself. But for those of you who may or may not understand, she is clearly stating that your version of what she's saying, if you're expecting to see something like this, that's not what you're going to be seeing. For the naysayers, it's not what we think like TV, flying saucers coming down and all that. It's not going to be like that. So if you're looking for this, don't look. But I think for those of you, and I have a lot of people I know in the Pensacola area, start looking. Go to Fort Pickens. Go stand there and stare off into the Gulf, basically almost in front of the Navy base, and look into the sky and tell me, just keep staring. You may get it, you may not. I've got videos of even nighttime, although somebody's questioning it. But what do you got to lose? I think he had all to gain. I do not believe, I think the time is finally coming. We've been talking about this for years and years and years. The time is coming. There's too much change in the world. There's going to be a major shift, and we're moving forward and at a different level in reality of life. I think the older you get, maybe the wiser you get, except for some. I see some people on Facebook, oh my God. You look in the dictionary under jackass and their faces are right there. And I hate to call, I'm not calling names, they're just clueless. And they're educated too. But they're just, when it comes to common sense, out the door. Out the door. It's like, my God, how have you survived life this far? But that's what she's saying. And it's going to be there. And they're not going away. It's only going to get more from now on. It's going to be more and more. And I'm all in. I'm all in. Here's one more closing thing with her, and then I'm going to start revealing you and lay it out there for you.
Although it is possible for us to reveal ourselves in a more clear, more solid state way, it is not comfortable, nor is it in your best interests as a collective. As this channel has stated, and many other channels in your collective, there are several dozen ships situated across your planet that will begin to reveal themselves very soon. Some, in fact, have already begun, and many of our smaller ships are very visible during both daylight and nighttime hours. The ship that we have discussed with this channel in the Gulf of Mexico has not left. It is there, and it will most likely be clearly visible to any human eye by the first day of February, regardless of your individual vibrations. So many of you are answering the call to raise your vibrations by engaging in your spiritual practices and by engaging in activities that bring you joy and light up your heart. And as a result, we are able to be visible by those who we would have thought wouldn't have had the opportunity to see us until much later.
All to gain, nothing to lose, especially those of you that live in Pensacola. Get your asses over to Navy Point. Go to Fort Pickens. Look over towards the base. Look out towards the Gulf. Go on the base. Stand over where the Lexington used to park and look straight out and up. I don't know how far out, but she's saying it's in front of the Pensacola NAS, out, hovering over the Gulf. Quick overview, standard type overview, telling you what's going on right here and now with this alien ship that's supposed to be right there in Pensacola, whether you choose to believe and or not, just presenting the information that I acquired.
Here is the latest extraterrestrial arrival update. A month ago, we told you this could become a reality, and for many of you, it did. Whether you saw them with your own eyes or simply felt their presence, our orbs and small craft have been making themselves known, inviting your love and attention. But there's more. We also shared that our large ships would be arriving earlier than planned, and true to our word, we made our grand entrance in early January. Since then, our majestic ships have been strategically positioned around the globe, though hidden from view. Last week, in an unpopulated area near a military base, we revealed our first ship as a gesture of goodwill, offering human leadership the chance to introduce us without fear or chaos. Despite the silence from human authorities, we are moving forward with our plan to make our ships visible in more populated areas. The moment of undeniable disclosure is near, and the media and government will soon be unable to contain it. Your role in this revelation is vital. By raising your vibration, you help signal that humanity is ready for our arrival. Simple actions like meditating, praying, communicating with the orbs, sending thoughts of love, or writing about gratitude in your journal are powerful steps toward connecting with your inner divinity. Remember, you already possess this inner divinity. It's just a matter of nurturing your connection to it. Join us in this journey of cosmic connection. Comment below with your thoughts and experiences. Share this message to spread the word, and let's prepare together for the incredible adventure that lies ahead.
I'm in. I'm telling you, my Pensacola people, take your phones. I want to see film, video. I want you to see this thing, if it's there. If you don't see it, you don't see it. Could be wrong. Too many people. I'm about to show you some videos from people from all over the world looking at a live webcam from the Pensacola Beach Hilton. I only have 4 of them, but there was way more. But these are people from all walks of life going to the Pensacola Hilton's live webcam. They have one that's at the top of their building that overlooks the beach. You decide. You decide what you're seeing, but unless it's a speck on the lens, there's something there. Doesn't look like anything that you think it should look like, but there's something there. That's why, if these things if it's going to be getting better and better and more visible, get your asses out there and go do it. I'm going to go do it. I'll hopefully before it disappears. But you're there now. Check it out. Especially she's saying by February 1st, it's going to be becoming more visible. We'll see. But here, this is a video from the Pensacola Beach Hilton web live cam.
Okay, I am going to do a screen recording of the Pensacola Beach cam. And you can see on here these, what to me look like, those are the 2 spaceships that I'm seeing there. They are like 2 sets of squares. It's like they're not fully rezzed in and focused in, but this is the start of what I think we're going to be able to see as 2 different spaceships. I also notice a little, I want to say kind of like cloudiness or fuzziness down here by the sea, but those 2 up there, to me, they've been here for quite a bit of time here. It is January 23rd, and it is about 4:12 here in, I'm in New York, but this is a video of Pensacola, Florida, on the Hilton PensacolaBeach.com webcam. And I've seen, multiple other images here at night. So these objects are here day and nighttime. The fact that I can see them in the day is pretty amazing. I had originally just been seeing weird things at night, but this to me is definitively spaceships. Let me know what you think about that. But again, this is, a live camera. You can see, the water flowing, all of that. All right. Well, let me know what you think.
Okay, so that's the first video I'm showing you, and it shows you those kind of spots, and there's some clouds, and you're thinking maybe that's just some other cloud work or whatever too. But I'm going to show you another video from another part in time from that camera, and it's the same thing in the same spot. And if those of you who know the area, if you're looking at the Gulf and you turn in that direction, it's right about where the woman from from Canada is saying. That's just about in front of Pensacola NAS because it's west of Pensacola Beach. So this is giving you guys a good idea of where to go and what to look for. But here's another one from the same camera, different time, different day, and those spots are still there. Now, again, are they on the lens? Or is it what they're saying it is? Check it out.
Pensacola Beach. It's the cam from the Hilton. I've been kind of checking it out. I don't know if this is a sun flare, but zoom in over here. These things definitely look like UFOs to me. Like the shape anyway. I'm just kind of hanging out there. The sun flare, maybe it's gonna move. This is live, guys, as you can see. or just UFO-shaped clouds. Very, very random, but this is where the UFOs are meant to be seen. If it is them, we will welcome you with love and peace. Welcome to Earth. So keep an eye on this and see what happens.
Now again, same shapes in the exact same place, no clouds in the sky. You know, it's Photoshop. Don't know. I don't think so. This is a nighttime version where I had somebody question it and tell me that was the moon, but I don't think the moon oscillates like what you're about to see. My God, the time is flying. So much stuff to give you, but I feel it's important to show you this stuff, but we're almost there. But this is for you to, I'm showing you enough so you can make up your own mind and either take it and run with it or dispose of it and then figure it out later. This is a nighttime shot of somebody talking about it. Same area, same spot, same camera, different look at night.
That is amazing. At first I thought this was like the moon rising or something. I do not think that now. There's your spaceship, you guys. Go in and out. Come back.
That was captured at night. That was actually one of the first videos that I was sent, where I was questioned and somebody was saying that's the moon, and you know I know what the moon looks like even in clouds, but I've seen the moon. I didn't see the moon oscillate like that. But again, you decide. It just happens to be in the exact same spot again. And lastly, one more from a beach cam. And just to give you different versions, different times a day, different people seeing the same thing. Even though it's coming from the same camera. I need my Pensacola people. I want to start getting some video. But again, if you don't know, you don't know. That's why I'm here. To inform you. Don't mention it. I love you guys. Check this one out.
Look, everybody. They're here. The ships are here. They're here. This is the live webcam from Pensacola Beach. Look, you can see the waves are moving. This is live. And if you've raised your consciousness and you've opened your heart chakras and you sincerely want to connect, you can see those ships in the sky. They're here. This is what we've been waiting for. They are here. This is so amazing. This is truly amazing. We can now be a galactic family. We can elevate ourselves. Raise your consciousness. Open your heart chakras. Truly and sincerely ask to talk with them, communicate with them. Vibrate on the highest frequencies and you'll see them and connect with them. They're here. They're really here. This is amazing. This is amazing. Wow. Wow.
Again, folks, you have to judge for yourself. At first, I thought maybe it was the sun shining down the ocean and sending off things, but too consistent, very consistent. You take what you want with the information I'm giving you. I'm just here to enlighten and do my part, so to speak. We'll talk about this. I don't have time for phones or anything like that. Next week, I think what I'll do is I'll open up the phones for the very beginning of the show and then just talk about whatever. If you want to review, week in review, month in review, what you're mad at, what you don't like, I'm not sure. There's so much stuff going on weekly. I'm constantly changing what I'm doing because it's hard to keep up with just doing a weekly show and not a daily show, which I'm fine with. This keeps me busy enough. But I want to remind you also, starting next week, I'm moving all my off-page Facebook people. We're moving the show to just the official Peter G Show page if you want to see it live. So for those of you who are watching right now live or anytime the Peter G Show live on Facebook, you might not be seeing it live unless you go and hit the follow button on the official Facebook Peter G Show page. And or, do me a solid, go to YouTube and subscribe there too. It's free. I need to group everybody up. We're scattered all over the place, 11 different platforms, and we're cleaning up some. Everybody's too scattered. I want everybody, in the same room. That way, I can communicate with you guys if you want to comment live and all that kind of stuff. I can't have all these little monitors and phones just to see if somebody's trying to say something of worth, and I can't see it because I'm too busy being right here for you. But I hope you took what I showed you tonight and enjoyed it. Take it to heart. From everything from our political discussions to aliens. Are they among us? I believe they are. I do. I just can't believe again, call me crazy. I want to thank everybody for watching Life of Peter G, the Peter G Show, right here every Wednesday like clockwork, 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. on the East Coast, or heading east towards Pensacola, NAS, looking off on the Gulf Coast at that alien ship. God willing. I'm truly blessed to be here. I thank you for participating, for being part of my show and helping us grow. But I need you to all just make sure you like, follow, share. It's simple and it's free. I will see you here next week. But I want to also remind you, we're still pretty messed up. Still a lot of division. People are pissed. Stupid. It's just stupid. Can't we all just get along? Sit back, enjoy the ride, be kind. It's really easy to go off nowadays. Everybody's getting poked. Life is hard. It's been a struggle. Take a breath before you speak and be kind. Just you don't have to be an ass, but you don't have to take a bunch of crap from people either. Think about it. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing regardless. Can't please everybody. I learned that quite a while ago, and I'm sticking to my guns because I truly believe what I'm doing and what I'm saying, I truly believe. Whether you choose to or not is totally up to you. But I thank you for watching. Bring a friend. Oh, wait a minute. One last thing. Thank you, Peter G. Steve B. I'm putting you up there for that thank you. Where are you at? There you go. Steve B., thank you for being here. Bring a friend. Let's go. Let's grow this thing. All right? That way I have more ways to facilitate good stuff for you guys. It's the only way I can do it. It's hard. Everybody wants to be somebody. I work really hard at this, and I truly mean what I say and say what I do in all the ways you want to put it. So hang in there. I'll see you guys next week. And remember, I'm doing this, and I just don't care if you don't like me. Still love you anyway. And I'll put that in writing. I love you guys. Peace out.
Peter G Show.